it's me Popsy and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be doing a how to roleplay reprise series. I have done this series before in the past, but my ways of going about doing roleplays have definitely changed a lot. So I wanted to share kind of like my knowledge and things that I've learnt these past couple of years of me doing roleplays. Now, me doing this video isn't telling you how to do your roleplays, I'm just sharing my knowledge and trying to help you guys out with making your roleplays. So in today's episode of How to Roleplay, we're going to be going over plots, characters and their descriptions, and also scripts. Okay, so we are in my Google Drive and this is where I write down everything roleplay related from, as you can see here, the plots and storylines. I've got applications, I've got my mod folder in here, I've got my character descriptions, possible roleplay. This I have wrote out for you guys. It's kind of like a template of my plot and storyline. But I've made it just a little bit more informative for you guys. But yeah, as I said, I made this little document for you guys. It's basically kind of like an outline just to help you kind of get started. Obviously you can change this as much as you want, but I have up here where you can put your title. So title of your roleplay, a lot of people sleep on it, but it's honestly really important. You don't want your title to be super long, but you also don't want it to be basic. Do you know what I mean? And another thing is, try your best not to copy when you're trying to come up with your roleplay in general, but also with titles. If you have a name in mind, maybe look it up on YouTube at first, but obviously don't go name in your roleplay something like My Street or Camp Karma or something like that. Don't copy other YouTubers, especially big YouTubers, but just any YouTubers in general when it comes to making a roleplay. It's just not, it's frowned upon. So yeah, pop your title up here. I have put down some key ideas. This can be for any roleplay, but I kind of tried to tie it into kind of like modern high school type of roleplays because I know that's one that a lot of people seem to lean to. But again, you can tie this into any type of roleplay. So we have up here drama between groups, friends, relationships and family. I always feel that it's important to have a little bit of drama involved in a roleplay. Keeps people wanting to watch and keeps people on their seat. They're like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? The next one is relationships between characters, either romantic, friendships, family, anything like that. Coming up with, you know, who's going to be in a relationship with your character? Are they going to have a relationship? Do they have family? What are their friendships going to look like? Thinking about all of that stuff to really tie the story together. We've got personal issues here, so things like anxiety, depression, any other type of like mental or physical illness. When doing this, I put in bold right here. Actually, I'm going to bold it like fully. Do your research. Do your research when you're talking about any type of subject related to mental or physical health, because the last thing you want to do is to offend anyone, even though you mean no harm at all. You're just trying to incorporate in your story. Do your research on these topics. It doesn't have to be like a full in-depth, you know, but like have a understanding on what you're going to be putting into your role plays. Next up, I put plot ideas. What does this say? What is the story about? So what's the story about? Where does it take place? What's the era? Is it going to be like modern? Is it going to be based in like the 1950s, for example? Is it going to be like an olden time type of roleplay, medieval, or is it going to be like a modern day city high school type of plot? Thinking about what's going to happen in the story. Think about what the story is going to be about. Is it going to be about like a singular character who's facing everyday school life? Is it going to be about a group of people? When coming up with who the storyline is going to be based around, I've seen a lot of people recommend to have no more than 3 to 5 main characters, because it can kind of get confusing to the people watching. Okay, who am I actually meant to be focusing my biggest, most attention to? Obviously you can have as many main characters as you want, but keep in mind that if you're gonna have a lot of main characters, those main characters obviously have to have a story and a background and a reason to be a main character as well. I put some key points in here, so again I tried to tie this more to like high school, but you can easily change this as well. High school, anxiety, bullying, rumours, partying, personal. Writing your key points of your roleplay is really good, especially if you're struggling and maybe like writing future scripts. It's really good to have some key points, because then you can just backtrack to that and be like, okay, I'm going to add some partying into it, thinking about how you can incorporate that into a script and then into an episode. I really like writing key points about my roleplays. So say you're doing a medieval, you could write kingdom, affairs, you know, issues between two kingdoms, rivalry, you know, things like that. And then having a main plot, use this to write a basic summary of where you'd like the roleplay to go. You can go into as much detail as possible, write a basic outline of the story for the season. So I really like writing a main plot down on here. Again, it's the same if in future I'm struggling with the script, I can just come back to this page and it gives me some ideas and refreshers. So go into as much detail as you want when you're writing a main plot. You literally don't even have to write that much. It could just be, I'm gonna do a roleplay based on a girl who is going to high school. She's struggling with self-esteem, and she meets a boy who she thinks she's in love with. Turns out that guy doesn't love her back, and she ends up falling for her best friend who was there the whole time. All of her friends were warning her this entire time, blah, 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 blah. You get the gist. I just gave you a full main plot right there. And yeah, just to try to write like a basic plot of where you want the season to go and how you want it to be. You get what I mean. Characters, write a basic outline of some characters here, names, age groups, etc. I like to write a little bit about characters on here, but I also like to write a character description, which I will show you in a second. But just having like a basic outline of how many characters you want in the roleplay, how many mains, how many side characters, how many just background characters, thinking of names, what age group do you want? Do you want it to be like teenagers? Do you want it to be like college age? Do you want it to be older than that? Just having like a basic outline of how you want your characters to look as well can be really helpful. I just quickly made another Google Doc that I will put down below for you guys to copy as well or use. So character development and coming up with your characters is so important in a Minecraft roleplay. Obviously it's going to be the people that your viewers are watching, so you want to make sure that you have a good character base. So I like to color code my characters. I like to go main character, side character, and others being like background characters, teachers, you know, people that you won't see all the time but have no relation to the main characters. Side characters are people that do have a relation to main characters, so like parents, friends that aren't as close to a main character but still close enough to be involved with the plot a lot. So I did a basic kind of summary of a character. I wrote Polly, I wrote her age, a little bit about their personality. This is good not only for you but also for your voice actors. If you're having voice actors, I will go into more depth on that in a future episode. But with the personality, go into as much depth as you can. Write a little bit about how you want this character to be. So for Polly, I wrote that she's shy, she's closed off, she was homeschooled most of her life, so anxiety plays a bit of a part in her story, quirky and fun when she listens up around trusted people. And then I also wrote her voice actor, which would be whoever the voice actor is. Writing a bit about personality, like I said, is important for voice actors because when they are going to play the character, they can get a little bit of information about what the personality is like with the character and then use that to play the character. Okay, so moving on to scripts. I've wrote down a little mock script for you guys. Again, everything will be linked in the description for you to use. You can change this up. You can even use it. I'm never gonna. But I kind of just wanted to show you a basic outline on how I write some of my scripts. I go into a bit more detail in this, but this is just a mock one for you guys to use. So at the top here, I always like to include the characters needed in each scene. I also do this on Discord, which I will go through in I might go through it in this episode actually. I might go through Discord on this episode as well. But characters needed in the scene, basically just put down every character that's going to be needed in each scene. So say you have, like in this scene here, I have Polly and Mum. I would write Polly and then I would write Mum and for scene 1, and then say in a different scene there's going to be Polly, her friend, a teacher, blah blah blah. You just write every voice actor that needs to be in that scene. It kind of just helps your voice actors know, okay, am I in the scene? No, right, scroll, find the scene that you're in and then record the scene. So along with characters needed in the scene, I like to put the music in here. This isn't essential, you don't need to put music in here, but I always like to add this just in case the voice actors want to have a little listen to the music, get a feel of the vibe that's going to be going on in the scene. And yeah, I just like to add it in there. Again, you don't have to add it in, it's just my personal preference. I like to put the mood in as well. So say it's going to be like very sad, emotional scene, I'll put that in there so that the voice actors know, okay, make sure that the tone sounds quite sad, emotional, or if it's like a party and it has to be like very hype and loud, or it's a sports game, make sure that you're very loud and like aggressive. Just put the mood of the scenes here, and it can really help your voice actors as well as you as well. And then I like to put where as well, so where does the scene take place? Now with scripts, obviously it's for your voice actors to read and to voice act for, but it can also be good for your body actors and you when you're doing body acting sessions, if you do body acting sessions with a group of people. It can be good for you to have like a basic view of where your characters need to be, what's happening in the scene, where the characters are, what characters are needed for it. It's good for your body actors and you, just so that you can remember exactly who's in what and where it's happening. So I like to put where as well for body acting sessions. And then I like to just start the scene. So for scene 1, I just wrote that Polly wakes up in her room, she sits up in the bed and checks her phone. Everything in black like this is just for body acting sessions. But it can also be good for voice actors as well, to get a feel of the surroundings and to get into character a bit more. And then I just started off the script by starting off the script. I wrote Polly. People are posting first day back photos already. She sounds tired. So I like to write kind of like how I want the character to sound during this scene. So obviously Polly's just woke up, she's going to sound a bit tired, a bit groggy. I like to just put that little bit of detail in there for my voice actors, again to help them get into character. Writing these as well, really helpful for body acting sessions like I said. Polly swipes to a picture of some friends in a group together. Polly, sigh, maybe this year I'll actually make some friends, gotta stay positive I guess. Having these little bits here as well, saying like sigh, or maybe they cough, or maybe they make a specific noise. Having these little bits here can be really helpful for your voice actors as well. And then your cinematic scenes, so if you're doing a cinematic roleplay, having a basic description of what's going to be happening in between each speaking cinematic is really helpful as well. So I wrote that Polly gets up, heading to the bathroom to get ready for school. She changes into her school uniform and walks downstairs to the kitchen where her mum is making breakfast. So we're introducing that the mum is coming into the scene. I also put music playing during the cinematic, and I linked a YouTube channel here that I use. I have it up here actually. Really recommend this YouTube channel, has a lot of different copyright free music, so I just tagged it in here. You guys can click on there. Really recommend this for roleplays especially. So I made a very quick Discord server just to show you guys how you can make your Discord server and give you a little bit of an idea. So I really recommend having a Discord server for when you have a team of people. It's better than having to message everybody individually, because trust me, it can get very confusing. I've tried that. It's confusing as hell. So doing it this way just makes it so much easier. Up top we have general. This is just a general chat room. We've got schedule. Now I recommend having a schedule because it just keeps everybody knowledgeable on what is when. So when body acting sessions are, when building sessions are, when voice acting sessions are, it just really helps everybody know when they have to have their things in, when their deadline is. So I really recommend having a schedule. Scripts, this is for the voice actors. So I also like to split everything up. So I've got voice actors, body actors and builders. As you can see, this is very basic. It's the most basic. It doesn't have to look incredible. Obviously you can make it look better, but having something basic is better than you trying to muddle everything in the DMs, because it can get very confusing. So yeah, splitting it into categories can be helpful as well. So for the voice actor section, I have scripts and uploads. Scripts is where all the scripts goes. Upload is where all of the upload folders go for the voice actors to put their lines in for specific episodes. Body actors have mods and skins. This kind of ties in with builders as well, but put all of the mods for your server into there, and then also all of the skins for characters in there as well for your body actors to have easy access to them. And builders, I put builds, so any inspiration you have for builds that you want done, you can put them in there, and you can even upload builds that you are doing currently. Just helps keep track of everything and where you are with building sessions. And then we also have just a basic general voice channel. But yeah, having a Discord server is really helpful. I recommend it, and hopefully this was helpful. Okay, so that's it for this video. I really hope that it was helpful. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments down below. Or you can message me on Discord as well, it's also in the description. And if you really enjoyed this video, why not subscribe? Okay, I hope you have the best day ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!